Yeah. It's working.
Yes, I think that's fine. Good. So Musa will be recording the classes in case of anything, in case he misses, somebody else can take over to record. I would prefer a student to record so that he or she can easily uh, share. Are you able to see this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, we said the assumption is that nobody knows Arabic and everybody is green here. In Arabic alphabets, we are looking into a number of things. Uh, Before this, let me look for where is that one? Sorry. Okay, before we discuss each and every alphabet, let me say first, Arabic has 28 consonants. Consonants. 28 consonants. Are you able to see my writing?
Yeah.
Okay, Arabic has 28 consonants, mean 28 letters, 28 alphabets. And it has also 6 vowels. 6 vowels. These 6 vowels, 3 are short and 3 are long. So 3 short vowels and 3 long vowels. Then thirdly, there's something called shadda. Shadda. In English, it's called DC, double consonants. Double consonants. So these are things first you need to know. Arabic has 28 consonants or 28 letters, 6 vowels, of which 3 are short and 3 are long, and shadda. How much are these? 28 plus 6 plus 1. If you can quickly add this. Huh? Huh?
35.
35. That's right. So Arabic has 35 phonemes. Phonemes. I don't know whether this spell is wrong. It's correct. Arabic has 35 phonemes. A phoneme, these are a linguistic term. A phoneme, for example, if you say this is boy, toy, do they mean the same or they're different? Boy and toy, do they mean the same or they have different meanings?
Different meanings.
Different
Or
meaning.
joy, or even joy. Now, if you look at these 3 words, there is Y in each and every of it. There is O in each of this. So if the words are similar, if this, what gives the additional or the different meaning is the B, the T, and the J. So this one is a phoneme, and this one is a phoneme, and this one is a phoneme. Are we together? So linguistically, phoneme is a letter. It is each and every letter that gives additional or different meaning. So in Arabic, all the 28 letters, if you replace a letter with another one, Roida,
Yes.
you have a background. So in all the 28 letters, if you replace one with another one, it gives a different meaning. For example, let me give an example of this. For example, this one, these are 3 letters. These are three. If you replace this one here, if you replace this, sorry, let me repeat it. If you replace this with another one, the meaning changes. That's what we mean by phoneme. So each and every of the 28 letters, they have different if you replace one with another one, or you put another one in the place of the other one, the meaning changes. The 6 vowels are also the same. We'll discuss this one. And the shadda, which is called double consonant DC, it gives you additional meaning. So Arabic has these 35 phonemes, 28 consonants or letters, 6 vowels, and shadda. And we will discuss each and every of this. We start with the consonants, then vowels, and then shadda at the end. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's right. So let's start with the consonant. Let's see the consonants we are talking about. The 28 consonants. Let's see what they are. There are two ways. There are two ways we can discuss in these 28 consonants. Number one, we can group them as per their shapes. We can group them as per their shapes because there are a number of letters that would have the same shapes, probably the difference are dots, the number and the position of dots. And I would prefer us to put in that order so that when you see one, you remember the other one. So we can group them as per their shapes. There is also the traditional way of lining them up. This is how traditionally are written. But I would prefer us to put in their different as per their shapes, so that we see which one have the same shapes and which one are similar and which one are not. That's one. Two, you see here there are positions: initial, middle, final, and isolated positions. These are the positions we'll discuss. We put this position because some letters change their shapes based on where they are positioned. Probably a letter has a shape, but when it goes to the middle or when it goes to the final position, the shape may change. That one also we'll look at the end. But we start with the isolated position. We see first we list all the 28 consonants or 28 letters in their isolated positions. Then we come to the initial, middle, and final, so that we get all the details. This one, they constitute 50% of the coursework. If you master, if you are okay, if you perfect in the letters, you achieve 50% of the course or 50% of the expectation, because all discussions will be based on this. The letters are the ones that make words. The letters joined together are the one that forms, when you put all together, they will form words, they will form sentences, words form sentences, and the rest. So we will a bit dwell on the letters, so that by next week, everybody is okay with the letters. Then from there we proceed in writing words and the rest. So I want you to keenly follow the shapes of the words, I mean the letters, how they are written, how they are pronounced, and then from there we go to words. So it is very important that you master this first before you think of forming sentences and speaking or writing Arabic. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Where is Nira? Is it Nira? Rega,
Yes,
are you good?
yes, I am.
Have I pronounced the name right?
No, but it's okay.
Tell me the right pronunciation. I'm not good in pronouncing them.
It's Riaga.
Riaga.
Yes.
Okay, Riaga. But if you say Riaga, I would expect to have I or Y somewhere. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's great. Good. So let's start. We group them in. We put them in groups. Group 1, group 2, group 3. We'll call them in groups for just easy remembrance. Let's start with group 1, for example. And I said we are looking into the isolated position of the letters first. We do with this first, then we come to the other positions: initial, middle, and final. When we are saying isolated, when we're talking about a letter that's isolated, it means that letter is not joined with any other letter before or after. In Arabic, actually letters are joined. Not in the English or in the Latin way, but they are directly connected to each other. For example, these are three words, three letters in Arabic. These are three letters in Arabic. These are three letters in Arabic. You see, you cannot say, you cannot tell where it begins and where it ends, because they are directly joined to Allah. It's not like when you say that is she. You know, you can isolate. You can write she, but in Arabic you cannot isolate this one from this one from this one, and you purport this is a word. So that is what we mean letters are joined. They are joined as many as 7 letters. For example, this is just one word in Arabic. Let me write this one. You see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 9 words. I mean 9 letters. You see, these are 9 letters joined together, and that's what makes this whole whatever a word. Right? You cannot isolate each and every one, and you want to say this one means what it means when the letters are joined together. So this is what we mean letters are joined together. So when we're talking about an isolated letter, it means a letter is just alone. It is not connected to any other letter before or after it. And in most cases, when a letter is in that position, it's either turned up or turned down. In most cases, it's either turned up or turned down. There are some few 3 or 4 words, or letters, or even less, that are left just without being turned up or turned down. But 99% of the letters, it either faces up or faces down when that letter is in isolated position. So let's see group 1, for example. Let's see group 1. Group 1 are like 5 letters. 5 letters. I want you to see how I'm drawing. If you look at these letters now, do they look the same in terms of shape? I'm not talking about the dots, but the shapes, are they same? Do they look similar?
Yes.
Adim?
I think so.
Yes. Yes, Asia?
Yes, they do.
Yes. Okay, so these letters, they have the same shapes. It's only this one is slightly different. You see this curve here, that whatever is slightly different, but we'll see in another place it looks exactly the way the letters are. So this one we call them group 1. Let's call them group 1. Let's call them group 1. The difference between these letters are the number and the positions of the dots. This one has a dot here. This one has 2 dots here. This one has 3 dots here. This one has 1 dot here. This one has 2 dots here. If you look, there are 2 letters letters that have 2 dots. But again, the positions are different. This one has 2 dots below, and this one has 2 dots above. There are 2 letters that have 1 dot each, but again, look the position. This one is a dot below, and this one is a dot above. So it's only this letter with this dot here. In Arabic, you will find only this letter in this shape with 1 dot here. You cannot get any other letter of this shape with a dot here. So that is the uniqueness in this one. All you need to look is the shape as well as the position and the number of the dots. Because if you don't look at the position, you'll be confused because this one has a dot and this one has a dot. But again, the positions of the dot are different. This one is below and this one is above. These two, they have two dots. Each and every one has two dots. But again, you need to look at the position. This one are two dots above and this one are two dots below. Now let's look into the pronunciations. This one is ba. Again, before I pronounce, there are two ways to pronounce. Like any other language. You can just articulate them and you can name them. We mean, what do I mean by naming or just producing the sound? Let me give an example of your preferred language. Which one is your preferred language? How do you pronounce this letter?
B.
Yes, I see that one is called B, eh?
Yeah.
And what is this?
B.
Now tell me, how can you have a letter called B and an animal called B? What is this letter here?
T.
And what is this your preferred drink here?
T.
E.
So Adim, you have a letter called T and you have a drink called tea.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you are saying B, when you are pronouncing this letter as B and this letter as T, you are naming the letter. Those are the names of the letters. Those are the names of the letters. But if you are just to pronounce from just the point of articulation, you say ba. This is ba and this is ta. This is ba. This is ta. This is sa. This is. And even these days, for maybe those who have kids, if you take your kids to this kindergartens, KG, many KGs, these days kids are taught ba and ta, not b and t. If you go to schools, kids are taught ba and ta, and actually that's how a number of my kids are taught. They cannot tell you this is b. They'll tell you this is ba, and they'll tell you this is ta. So that is what we mean by just pronouncing without naming it. You can as well name the way you see this one is B, this one is T. You can see this one is C. You see, this one is G. That is the name. Those are the names of the letters. Arabic also is the same. You can name the letters, and you can as well just pronounce by just pointing it from the point of articulation. So this is ba, ba. That is the pronunciation. This is ta. This is ba like the normal B. For example, you say baba. Baba is Arabic, by the way. You can say baba. So this is ba, baba, right? Just like the way you can say boy or book. This is the normal ba. This is the normal T, ta. You can say like toy, like the normal T. This is tha, tha, th, tha. Thabit, for example, thawb, right? Tabitha, that's the normal tha. This is na. You can as well say noon if you want to name, right? You can say na. You see here, it's also noon. Just normal like Nur, Nariman, right? And the rest. This is ya. Ya. It's like why ya. For example, like Yasin, right? You can say like Yahya, right? Asiya, Aliyah, right? So that is the normal Munira, Mira. You see, this is here. So these are group one. Ba, ta, tha, na, and ya. Are we together, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is ba, ta, tha, na, and ya. And I said the shapes are same. Let me repeat. Let me show you again how they are drawn. This is ba, this is ta, this is tha, this is na, and this is ya. That is ya. Ya. Ya in the drawing just start with the carving. Then we put the two dots there. Ba, ta, tha, na, and ya. Y or a. Good. I want you to try this. I want everybody to see. I want to see how you pronounce. Yes. Let me start with Adim.
Yes.
I want you to pronounce this group one.
Ba,
Mhm.
ta,
That's right.
huh?
You're correct.
Oh, tha, na, and ya.
That's right. Yes. Next, Alia.
It's ba, ta, tha, na, and ya.
That's right. Yes, Asia.
Ba, ta, tha, na, and ya.
That's right. Yes, Firdausa.
It's ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. Yes, Gulet.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. Yes, Hamdi.
It's ba, ta, tha, na, and ya.
That's correct. Yes, Naria. Hey, I forgot the pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. That's right. Yes, Ruwaida.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. Yes, Musa, Said.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. Munira.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya.
That's right. That's right. That is correct. That's correct. Good. So this one we call them group one, right? We call them group one. And again, if you look this, all the letters are turned up. All the letters are turned up. You see this one here facing up, facing up, facing up, facing up. So group one, we have these 5 letters that have the same shapes, but again, the difference are the number and the positions of the dots. Are we okay with this? We move to the next one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And at some point, I will ask you to write. I will allow you to annotate and then and then you write. You write, right? For those who are doing pharmacy, you say pharmacy is practical, right? This one is also practical. We'll do a lot of practicals. It's only that we don't have chemicals. We won't be adding some chemicals here. Okay. So let's see group two. Group two are 3 letters. I want you to look how these letters are drawn. Do you see the difference? I mean, are they different in terms of the shapes? Or
No.
No.
Not true. So in shapes, they have the same shapes. So what are the difference here? What do you see? What are the difference? Admin.
The dot.
Adim.
The dot placement.
Yes. This one has a dot below. This one is a dotless, and this one has a dot up here. So this one is called Ja, the normal J. This one is called Ha. Have you ever seen H with a dot? Today you learn H with a dot. So this one, these are the 3. These are group 2, only 3 letters. This one has a dot here. This one is dotted, dotless, and this one has dot here. That's why we are putting them in as per the shapes, so that when you see one, you can as well remember the rest. Now, there are a number of letters in Arabic that are not in our mother tongue, right? The first language we learned is our mother tongue. right? So there are a number of letters in are only found in Arabic and probably some few other languages. They are not in our mother tongue. A number of them, there are some languages some people can pronounce because their languages, Arabic has influenced their languages. For example, if you talk about Swahili, for those who speak Swahili, for those who are was Swahili, is it was Swahili? How do you call the people of, how do you call was Swahili? Swahili, Arabic has influenced Swahili. So people whose Kiswahili is their mother tongue, they can pronounce these letters because it is there. For those who speak in Somali, they can pronounce because Arabic has influenced their language. For those who speak Urdu or Persian, the Iran language, they can easily pronounce because Arabic has influenced, right? For Turkey, a number of them can pronounce. Some languages in West Africa, like Hausa and Fulani, they can pronounce because Arabic has influenced their letters. But a number of other mother tongues, you may get, at the beginning, you may see these letters are a bit difficult because they are not found in our mother tongue. That's why we see it difficult, but it's not difficult. It's only that we are not used to them. Are we together? But with practice, everybody can pronounce these letters perfectly. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
this is Ja, the normal J, like Jamal, Jama, John, James. This one is Ha. Ha is among the letters that are not in our mother tongue. Ha. That's why it is written H with the dot. This is called phonetical. It's phonetics. It's the way they are written phonetically or linguistically. So a linguist can know this is Ha and not Ha. So this letter is pronounced Ha, like Hamid, right? Like Ahmed, like Farhaz. Is it Farhaz? Rajab Ali.
Yes, so it's Farhaz.
Yes, Farhaz. You see, there's Ha, right? There's so this is Ha. Ha. You say Hamdi, Halima. It is Hamdi and not Hamdi. It is Halima and not Halima. It's Ahmed and not Ahmed, right? It's Hamid. So this letter is pronounced Ha, 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 Ha. Hawa, right? And with time, you can easily know how it's pronounced. This one is Kha. You see K with H. It's called Kha. Kha, like Khalid, like Khaire, right? Another one? You can give us another Kha? Huh?
Khadija.
Yes?
Khalif,
Khadija.
We have like Khalid.
Khalif,
Khairat.
So this is Khaira, yes. So this is again Kha. So in many cases, these two letters are not in the mother tongue. Here in Kenya, the people, is there somebody from Western? This guys from Western Kenya can easily pronounce this one because it's also in the mother tongue. That's why you have their names like Khamaniyu and Khalwale and Kha. They have a lot of Khas in there, whatever. So this is Ja, this is Ha, and this is Kha. This we said like Jamal, Jama, John, right? James, this is a normal Ja. This one is Ha, like Halima, Hamdi, Hamid, Hawa, Ahmed, right? That is Ha. Farha, you see Farhaz. And this one is Kha, like Khalid, Khair, Khamr, right? Now I want you to pronounce this. Yes, Adim.
Yes, sir.
I want you to pronounce this one, these three letters.
Ja,
That's right.
ha,
Mhm.
ha.
That's right. That's correct. Yes, Alia.
It's Ja, Ha, and Kha.
That's right. Yes, Asia.
It's Ja, Ha, and Kha.
That's right. Firdosa.
Ja, ha, kha.
That's right. That's in order. Yes, Farhaz.
It's Ja, Ha, and Kha.
Gulet.
Ja, Ha, and Kha.
Hey, my friend, your voice is low. You have not had breakfast.
Yeah,
Let-
I had breakfast. Yes, yes, sir.
Hey, it's not cold today. Your voice is so low.
I think it's the earphone.
Yes, Hamdi.
It's Ja, Ha, and Kha.
That's right. Riaga.
Ja, Ha, and Kha.
That's right. That's another. Yes, Ruwaida.
Ja, Ha, and Kha.
That's right. Musa.
Ja, Ha, Kha.
And Munira.
Ja, Ha, Kha.
That's right. That's right. That's in order. You perfectly pronounced this letter. So these are group two, and just all you need is to check the shape as well as the dots, because it's the dot that if you see at any dot like this, if you see a letter of this shape that has no dot, it's only ha. Now, if you, for example, if you remove these dots here, if you remove these dots here, all these letters will be ha. All of them will be ha, because it's only ha that has no dots, which has this shape. So the dots are very important to differentiate between the letters. If you don't dot a letter, that means that is just it's a sign, but not necessarily a letter. Good. Let's see the other group. This one is easy, only 2 letters. You see? So these 2 letters, they are more or less the same. It doesn't matter the handwriting, but what you look is this one is sa and this one is sha. Sa, sha. Sa, sha. For example, this Salim, Saadia, Saeed, Asia, right? And this is Sha, like Shamsa, Sharon, Shalom, right? This is like Susan, Sa, Sha. Again, if you look at the 2, they have the same shapes. 1, 2, 3, and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, I don't know what you can call. Are they legs or fingers, or I don't know what you call this. Huh? This whatever. They must be in this number 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. For example, if you put it this way, this one cannot be sa, cannot be sha. If you increase the number, that is totally a different letter or letters. So it must be in this. I don't know what this one can be called. It must have these 3 whatever 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 whatever. It must have for it to qualify to be either seen or sa or sha. And this one must have 3 dots. Do you remember another letter that had also 3 dots that we discussed?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Sa.
Yes.
Which one was that one? Huh?
Pa.
Which letter was sa? That's right. But again, you look at the shapes. You see? If you look at the shapes, they are totals with 3 dots. But again, the shapes are different. You cannot say this is sha unless you put it those 3 whatever or those. So this is sa. You say like Salim, Susan, Saadia, Salah, and this one we say Sha, like Shamsa, Sharon. So these are easy. This one is Sa, Sha. You can as well name them by saying Sin or Shin. You look here at Sin, Shin. That is their names, right? But if you can only pronounce by saying Sa or Sha, whichever you feel comfortable with. Are we together? That is group what?
Yes.
That's group 3, right?
Group 3.
Group 3. Group 3, right?
Yes.
We said group 1 we had like 5 letters, then group 2 we have Ja, Ha, Kha, then group 3 is Sa, Sha. So group 4 is Sa, Da. You see this one again. Have you ever seen Sa with that or D with that? Again, if you look the shapes, they have the same shapes. For you to write this, probably you need to start circling first. You see, you circle first. There are a number of things you need to look here. Number 1, this circle is a bit longer, right? It's a bit longer. You cannot just say this one or this one. It should be a bit longer because the other letters that look like this. So it should be a bit longer, and it has this whatever. I don't know what you can call it. So this, you cannot say this is Sa. For example, if you draw this, unless you put it that whatever. So this is Swa, 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 and this one is Do. Again, these are among the letters that probably are not in our mother, but with practice we can perfectly pronounce them. For example, for those who are familiar with the names, how do you pronounce this name? How do you pronounce this name? Huh?
Swaleh.
Swale.
Swa. Now this Swa, yes, this Swa is this one here. When you say Swale, Swa, that Swa is this letter here. Because in Arabic, this name Swale begins with Sa. In Arabic, this name Swale begins with Sa. That's why here it's written normally as with W. This is Swale. Swala. Swala. That is a prayer you pray. It's Swa. Swa. So in Arabic, this one begins with Swat here. Right? So it's like a big Sa. So in the pronunciation, you say Swale, Swa, Swa, Swa. Are we together? Are we together, guys?
Yes.
Good.
So is it Swa or Swad?
Okay, it is. You see the name here, it's written Swat. Swat.
Yeah.
But I'm just giving you a name that has begins with this and the way normally is pronounced, so that you don't.
So
you can differentiate between Sa and Swat. So this is Swat, but for just for you to remember, this name is pronounced Swa because it begins with Swat in Arabic. Yes, I did.
yes, okay.
Okay, so that is Sa. This one is Do. I can see there's a name here, Ruwaydah. Ruwaydah. How do you read that name?
Ruwaida.
Have you Ruwaid or this Ruwaydah, not Ruwaydah? Okay, this Ruwaydah. So that's a different. For example, this one is Rawdah. Rawdah. Da. This one they say it's the most difficult letter to be pronounced in Arabic. Even the Arabs, they get difficult in pronouncing. That's what they say. But I told you, there's nothing that's difficult. So everything is possible, and even the Arabic language is called Luqatu Dat. Da. It's only in Arabic that has this letter. Even the other languages that Arabic has influenced, they get difficult in writing this. So this is the way they say it's the most difficult letter to be pronounced. But again, with practice, you can easily pronounce. So this one is called do, do, do. For example, this name Rawda, Rawda, Rawda. Sometimes this is how they write it, because there's no equivalent da in Latin, right? So you say Rawda, Rawda. Riyadh, for example, this capital city of Saudi, they just say Riyadh, but the Arabic, this letter is Riyadh. It's da. This is how they write it. They write it. You see, da at the end. But because this one, there's no any letter that is close to it in the Latin, they just write T. The Riyadh, Riyadh, Rawda, right? Which was the last Ramadan in the Islamic, the last month in the Muslim calendar? Huh?
ذو الحجة.
Not the last in the sense of the whatever the month we fasted. What is it called in Arabic?
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Ramadan, yes. Now, Ramadan, people write it this way, Ramadan. But this one is da. You see, this is da. Because there is no any letter that is close to this in the Latin, you just write it Ramadan. It is Ramadan. Da, da, Ramadan. Ramadan, not Ramadan. It's not Ramadan, it's Ramadan. So it is da, 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 right? Da. You say duha, da. Are we together, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Good. So these are the other two letters. It is swa and da. Say swa, da, or sad, dad. You said you can as well name them swa or sad, da, or dad. We said swa is like swalih. It's like Safiya. See, Safiya begins with sa. People just say Safiya, but it is sa, Safiya, right? It is Salih, Safiya, and the rest. This one is da. Da. We say like Ramadan, Rawda, Riyadha, right? Rida. So it is sa and da. Now I want you to pronounce. There's Adim.
Swa and da.
That's right. Alia.
and the.
Yes, Asiya.
Sa and da.
Good. Firdosa.
It's and the.
It's
Farhaz.
swa and da.
That's right. Yes, Bullet.
Swa and the.
That's right. Yes, Hamdi.
It's swa and da.
Riyaga.
Swa and the.
That's right. Yes, Ruwaida.
Sa and da.
Musa. Musa.
Yes, Sa and the.
And Munira.
Swa and the.
That's right. Sa, da. Sa, da. Sa, da. And I told you when writing, make sure you remember to make this this circle a bit longer, right? A bit longer. That's how you write it. Short and da. Good. Let's see the other group. There are also two letters. Two letters. This one, there are two ways to draw them. These letters. You can initially circle, then draw a line there, or you can draw a line, then circle it. So this is bo, and this is the. This one is dotless and this one has a dot here. This is the. I mean, this is to. How do you read this name? Huh?
طيب.
طيب. So this one is this one here. طيب. You say طيب. طو. Right? You say طيب. This is, how do you read this? This is R, right? How do you read this then?
طاهر.
طاهر, right? طاهر. So this is ta in Arabic because they all begin with ta. This is ta. So that's the letter ta. It's called, in the pronunciation, you pronounce ta. Ta. You pronounce ta. This is ta and this is, so you say taha, tayyib, tahir, right? And the other one is the. The other one is with a bit of with a bit of vibration. Eh? You say the, right? Say the. Is there any name that begins with the? Huh?
Zara.
Huh? Yes.
Is Zara?
Well, that is the and the. You see, they're a bit different. So this is the, right? The. I don't know of any name that begins with the, but there are many verbs that begin with the. For example, you say zulm. So this is the. You show a bit of your tongue, and it's kindly of, it has a bit of vibration. So you say the. So this is to and this is the. You see, sometimes this one they are left unturned, and you can as well turn them. You see, there's no harm in turning them. But in most cases, they are left unturned. You see this one, they're not turned up. But you can as well turn them up. There's no harm. But this is how traditionally they are written, right? They are not turned up. But I think, as I said, you can turn them out and there's no problem. So this is the other group. I don't know which group is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eh? The group 5, right? So this is like we say طاهر, طيب, طبر. This is the. Say like ظالم, ظلم, ظبي. So this is the. Now how can we pronounce this? Yes, Adim.
Ta and za.
Yes, Salia.
ta and the.
Yes, Asia.
Ta and za.
Well, yes, Firdausa.
It's ta and the. يعني the.
Yes, Farhaz.
It's ta and the.
Okay. Repeat, say right?
Ta.
Yes, Gulet. That's right.
Yeah, the.
That's right. Yes, Hamdi.
It's the and the.
Riaga?
Ta and Da.
Huwaida?
It's Da and Ra.
Musa?
Da and Da.
Muniru?
Ta and Da.
Yes, ta and the. Ta, the, ta, the. So repeat pronouncing this, practicing this. These are also not in our mother tongue. That's why we get them a bit not familiar. So just by practicing and practicing and practicing, you can perfect them in pronouncing. So anything. So far we have those 5 or I don't know which groups. Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5 groups, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 letters. So far we discussed 14 letters. That's almost half, right? Because we said the letters are 28. Am I right? If you may count, how many letters have we discussed?
14.
14. That's right. That's correct. So we are somewhere in the half. Huh? We're almost halfway. So we want to pause there and do some few other things before we go to the other 14 letters, because I want you to give time to practice the pronunciation of these letters. It's very important that you pronounce them correctly, and you can as well write the correct shape of the letters. Because if you pronounce ba like ta or ta like ha, then it will be difficult for someone to understand you, right? So the pronunciation are very important, as well as the shapes or the ability to write those letters. Now I want you. Are you able to write? I will allow you to annotate, and I want you to write the letters. Okay. Before we go there, I want us to pronounce all the letters. So everyone will start from group 1 till the last group. We pronounce from ba to the, and I want everybody to pronounce that. Yes, who wants to start? I like volunteers.
I guess I'll go first.
Yes, Firdausi, please.
So it's ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, da, da, da.
That's correct. Firdausi. That's correct. Next.
Yes. Ba,
Yes, Musa.
ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, fa, sa, wa, da, za.
That's right, Musa. That's correct. Next. Yes, Hamdi. I can see you raised a hand.
Okay, it's ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, sa, da.
The last two.
The last two is da and tha.
That's right, Hamdi. Next one. Next one, please.
Okay, can I go?
Yes, Ali, proceed.
Okay, it's ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, sa, da, da, da.
That's right. That's a number. Next.
I can go.
Yes, Asia.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, sa, da, ta, da.
That's a number. That's right. Next.
Can I go?
Yes, Bullet.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, da, da, da.
That's right. That's right. Next. Next. Yes, Muniru. See your hand.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, dwa, twa, dwa.
That's right. That's right. Next. That's right. Next. Yes, Yaga.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, dod, ta, tha.
That's right. That's another. Next.
Can I go?
Sure. Ready?
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, da, ta, za.
That's right. That's right. That's another. Next.
So can I go?
Yes, France.
So ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, twa, ta, za.
That's another. That's another. Next.
Ba, ta, tha, na, ya, ja, ha, kha, sa, sha, swa, dot, ta, ba.
That's right. Wait, huh? Is there somebody who was not right? Okay, that's good. That's good. You all pronounced them perfectly. Now I want to see how you write them. Yes, let me allow you to annotate. It's called annotate. And then you write.
So I can't hear you clearly from my side.
No, I'm saying I want us to see how we can write. I don't know, where is the annotation part? Just a second. Yes, enable annotation for others. Okay. Now I want you to write. I want everybody to try to write those letters. Let's start from group 1. Ba, ta, tha, na, and ya. Let everybody write those letters.
Where are we writing?
How are we writing again?
Okay, I don't know who's doing an IT. Somebody can advise us. You go to more, then you look for annotate.
There is no more.
You look for options. Options. Yes, I can see somebody already has drawn a very long line. How is that one?
Can they guide us of like where do we go exactly?
Do you see somewhere written options
No,
and more?
no. It's just participant.
I was the one who drew it.
Yes.
I'm using my phone. At the left side at the end is like a pen.
A pen, huh?
Yeah, on the left side downward.
What if you're using a laptop?
I have no idea. I'm using my phone right now, so.
I can see Hamdi is writing. Well, I have a laptop, but I'm looking into a place called I'm looking into more, or probably that could be an option for others.
Above the screen where it says you are viewing Ahmed Sharabi's screen, there's view options. And then you have to annotate, and then you find it there.
Oh, that's good, right there. Yes, proceed, guys. I want to see your writings. Hamdi, you started. What happened? You withdrew.
Should I start writing?
Yes, start writing. Everybody should start. We are not going to call names. Let everybody start. Write group 1 A, ba, a, ba, ta. Yes, I can see Farhaz is writing. Yes. I can see Asiya as well. Gulet, I can see. Yes. Adim, I can see now you're writing. Aliyah, yes, I can see. Yes, Riyaga, I can see. Yes, Muniru. Yes. Yes, Firdausa, I can see, yes. Yes, Ruwaida, I see also. Yes, I can see Ali, you've gone up to group 3, yes. Hamdi, yes.
So group 3, how are we supposed to connect?
Group 3.
Yeah. This thing looks tricky.
Okay. Just you let me see. This is how you connect them. Yes.
So I do 2 waves.
Yes, 3 actually. 1,
3 waves.
1, 2,
1,
yes.
2, and then a big one.
Yes. I can see Muniru Jahaha. That's right. Who's writing this one? Oh, these are 2 different letters. I thought it is Sausha. Yes, yes. I see Sha, dot. Yes, Farhaz, I see yes. You can go up to group 3, 4, 5. Yes. Yes, group, the last 2 groups, Sha and Da, and Ta and Da. Let me clean this so that we write the last group. Let's further. Hussein Riaga. That's right. That's right. Is there somebody who has not written? Anybody who has not tried? Is there somebody who has some challenges? Firdausa. Oh, okay. So yes.
Yeah, you rubbed mine.
Musa, am I serious?
No, it's I got stuck from here.
What's the problem?
Me too, so I'm trying to draw, but it's not enabling me.
It's not. After I click the annotate, so it's giving me some options here: mouse, text, draw. So I failed to go where to go about.
Said, you just go to the place in Mandiqua draw and then just pick any. I picked the first one.
Yeah, it's worked out.
Okay, that's good.
Thanks.
Mhm. 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 Musa, which one is that one?
I'm trying to,
Oh, you started from group one, eh?
yeah.
Mhm. Yes. Still Alia is writing, yes. Yes, Firdausa. Mhm. 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 Who is this? Who has written this? Huh? It's okay, it's correct. And this one? Who is this one? This is Asia, right?
Yeah.
You use a mouse or you are using it? You use a mouse to annotate, right, Amma?
No, right. I'm just using my phone.
Okay. Good. Okay, I think that was a good writing. I see you guys, you are okay in writing and pronunciation. Yes, Musa, I can see, correct, continue. Musa, which one is that one?
I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to write the bar.
Huh? So, ba. Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Mhm.
Amazing up here.
What's the problem? Is it da or what? Which one is that one?
Ba.
This one. This one.
No. For
Huh?
the 13th one.
This one here.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Huh?
Yes.
You can draw a line, then circle it, or you can circle and then draw a line from there. Whichever you feel comfortable with. Sometimes the mouse disturbs.
I'm good in writing. other than drawing this.
Anyway, it is the mouse that normally disturbs, but it's okay. It's okay. Hey, Firdosa, what is this arrow you put here?
No, I was just checking. I was just playing with it.
Okay. How comes it you can erase? How can you erase this one? Okay, thank you. So basically that is all about the letters we discussed. The 14, I mean, for yes, 14 letters. We said those are the shapes as well as the pronunciations. So, and I said this, the letters constitute like 50% of the classwork. Make sure you master with the letters in terms of the pronunciations and in terms of their names. Practice, practice, practice. It's what you practice that will remain. Don't just wait till the last when we announce the midterm exam is near, and then you start revising. Start revising from day one. Actually, that's the way to go. If you start revising from day one, everything that you revise, that one will remain constantly there or permanently in your head. But if you just wait till the last few days or few days to the exam, you can remember in those few days. Then when you do the exam again, you go green. You forget everything that you read. So at least you can give like 20-30 minutes revision for every day. Every day allocate like 20-30 minutes. You go through all what we discussed. You read, you write, and we want to develop a number of skills. You know, in all languages, there are 4 skills that are to be developed concurrently, right? Yes, Adim.
Sir, in Arabic, there's no A.
We will come. We'll come there. We will come there. That one is included in vowels.
And also, I was doing some research. They said that there are so many dialogues. So this one I'm seeing here, it's Saudi Arabia. So this Arabic is Saudi Arabia dialect.
No, it's not. It's not Saudi Arabia. This is the classical Arabic. It's not a dialect. It's not a dialect.
Classical.
We are not discussing any.
Okay.
This is the standard of the classical Arabic. There are many dialects. If you start discussing dialects, you'll completely be confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are many. Saudi Arabia or the Gulf, they have Saudi, they have their dialects. Kuwait, they have their dialect. Lebanon and those Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, they have their dialect. Egypt, they have a different dialect. Sudan, they have a different one. If you go to North Africa, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, this one, they have completely different dialects. So there are many dialects, many dialects. We won't be discussing dialects because the common one that everyone understands, it is the standard Arabic. Even those speaking dialects, when you speak classical or the standard Arabic, they understand. But if you speak their dialects, for example, the Moroccan, the Algerian dialects, the people in the Gulf cannot understand because it's heavily influenced by French, right? So we won't be discussing any dialect. We will discuss the standard of the classical Arabic that is official because that is the official language in all these countries. Dialects are never officials because dialects are not written. You see, dialects are not written, but the written language is the standard of the classical Arabic that is written in the books, it's taught at the universities, it is the newspapers, it's in the official communication. Is that okay, Adim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in all the languages, there are 4 skills that you need to develop concurrently. That's speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Those are 4 skills that you need to develop. Probably the easiest ones are the reading and writing. Speaking may not be that easy, given the fact that the environment is not that conducive. But again, with time, you can manage to speak. because you know in teaching you said the mode of communication should be in English in all languages, and again in outside class again everybody speaks his or her mother tongue or whichever convenient, which the other languages. So speaking may not be that quickly developed, but with time, bit by bit, words, sentences, phrases. So in the long run, we will manage to speak. But focus on those reading and writing, speaking and listening. Those are the 4 skills we need to develop. So at any given time, give like 20, 30 minutes where you read, where you write, where you listen, where you try to, because there are some conversations that you will read and you can try to converse with someone else in your class or outside class. So make sure at least you give like 20, 30 minutes every day to practice. So by the end of the semester, we are not looking into A's. You all qualify to get A. But what is the most important is what you have acquired at the end of the semester, right? It's not only to say, I have a very beautiful A in Arabic. And when you ask some few questions, you get confused. So what is the most important thing is what you acquired, what you gained, the skills, the knowledge that you gained, the skills that you developed at the end of the semester. You may have B or C, but you are more skilled than an A student. So don't focus on those numbers, on those grades. If you develop your skills, you can qualify or you qualify to get your desired grade. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Good. Anything else you want to ask? We want to end the class today early, so that.
Yeah, is there a group chat? WhatsApp group chat?
Well, that is the point actually I wanted to conclude with. We need to have a class president. Then from there we'll have that the class the class head or president will create a someone to volunteer to head the class. Hey, come on, guys. You all want to be backbenchers. Huh?
Here we go again.
Oh, Musa.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Musa, today I'll buy you an online cup of tea or coffee.
Maybe next. It's fine.
That's just a joke. Okay, Musa, thank you very much. I think everybody you can write your names. I mean your numbers through the chat. So Musa is our class president, and he will create a WhatsApp group for us to communicate. Is that in order? And in his absence, Adim will be his deputy or his vice president. Adim.
Yes.
Is that in order?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So write your names, your telephone numbers, and then you're included in the Google WhatsApp. Good. Good. Let me also write mine. That 100 at the end is mine, Musa.
Yes, yes, sir.
Is that one?
I'm going to share the link.
End, eh?
I will going to share the link in the chat. Just a minute.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any other question before we move to the next point? Mhm. Okay, as he creates, let me also. Yes.
During the exam or
Mhm.
the test or assignment.
Yes.
And are we supposed to do some writings?
Sorry?
Are we supposed to do some writings?
Well, the exams, actually, we'll discuss that later, but up to the midterm exam, the quizzes, all those are just multiple choices where you choose. There's no writing involved. There's no writing involved. So up to the midterm, then we'll see what we can do in the final. But so far, there's no writing involved. The quizzes and all those.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, let me take the attendance as we wait for Joseph to share the link. Guled Abdi?
I shared
Yes,
that.
sir.
Guled Abdi Adam or Adam Guled Adam Abdi.
Great Adhan Abdi.
Abdurrahman Ahmed Sharif. No to be seen. Firdosa Abdullah.
I'm present.
Adim.
Present.
Layla Mahmoud. Hamdi Farah.
Present.
Musab Ismail. Maina Warui Maina. Asiya Sharif. Asiya Ashraf, sorry, Asiya Ashraf.
Present.
Joseph Goy. Muniru City.
Present.
Saeed Mohammed Musa.
Present.
Farhaz Rajab Ali.
Present.
Ramadan Al-Hilal. Riyaga
Yes, sir.
Kuwaida.
Present.
Is there somebody whose name is not mentioned?
I'm present as well.
Who is that one?
Alia.
Oh, Ali Ahmed. Ali Ahmed. Ali, when did you register? I didn't get. Oh, Ali Ahmed Muhammad.
Yeah. Mahmoud, yeah.
Good. Anything else, guys, you want to ask before we close the day?
I shared the link in the chat.
Okay. So you guys, you can register there. Okay, anything else before we set off? Good. So that was a very interesting session. So this class on Saturday next week. Please revise properly. Where everybody will pronounce, or you'll be asked to pronounce, and some you practice. And remember, we said.
So I can't hear you well.
Yeah, me too.
Your voice keep breaking.
I think he's okay.
Hello, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you haven't had all those whatever I said.
No.
You have not had any.
Yes.
Okay.
Your voice is a
Basically,
bit
I said that. Okay, sorry. Basically, I said that was a good session. It was a good one we discussed, and I said I encourage you to revise properly, because in every class, before we begin, there's a recap, and in that recap, you'll be asked to pronounce, and you'll also be asked to write. So whichever way, make sure you pronounce properly and you participate all the classes from the recap to the end of the class. So till Monday, Saturday next week, wish you all the best, and see you on Monday. Ma'asalam.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Okay, masalama.
Masalam.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Come.